Gentlemen, what if I told you that your morning tea, the same cup you've been drinking for years, might secretly be draining your energy instead of fueling it? But here's the twist. There's a way to flip that same routine into your most powerful daily advantage. Just 1 teaspoon of the right ingredient can wake up your metabolism, sharpen your focus, and even bring back that spark your partner hasn't seen in years. It's not caffeine, not sugar, not a supplement. It's something far more ancient and far more effective. I'm Dr. Charlotte Hayes, a men's vitality researcher and nutrition specialist who's spent over 15 years studying how simple, low effort habits can completely reset your body's chemistry. I've worked with hundreds of men who felt like they were doing everything right, eating clean, hitting the gym, trying to stay active, yet still woke up every morning feeling sluggish, unmotivated, and years older than they actually are. And what I discovered shocked me. It wasn't their workouts or diet that were failing them. It was their morning chemistry. A single imbalance that most men never even think about first thing in the morning was silently draining their energy, hormones, and drive. The good news? Fixing it doesn't require medication or extreme routines. Just 1 teaspoon of the right natural ingredient, added to your existing morning ritual, can trigger your body's natural recovery system back into motion. Let's be honest, most men don't wake up feeling powerful anymore. They wake up feeling behind. You open your eyes, and instead of energy, you feel weight. That invisible pressure sitting on your chest before the day even begins. You grab your phone, scroll through emails, check the news, maybe take that first sip of coffee hoping it'll kick in, but deep down you know it won't. Your mind feels foggy, your focus scattered, your motivation half awake. Even when you push yourself to keep moving, something inside feels slower, like your body's engine just doesn't fire up the way it used to. You tell yourself it's just age or stress or part of life, but that's not the full truth. What's really happening is that your body's hormonal rhythm, the natural cycle that keeps your energy, mood, and drive balanced, is out of sync. Every morning, your cortisol, the main stress hormone, spikes higher than it should, while testosterone, your energy and confidence hormone, stays suppressed. And over time, this imbalance quietly chips away at your focus, your metabolism, and even your confidence as a man. So you might look fine on the outside. You're working, handling responsibilities, maybe even exercising. But inside, your system is running on fumes. That's why so many men feel like no matter what they do, that inner spark, that effortless motivation is just gone. But here's the truth. It's not gone. It's simply asleep. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you the easiest way to wake it up again, using nothing more than 1 small teaspoon in your morning mug. Now imagine this. Instead of starting your morning in a hormonal deficit, you begin your day with an instant natural signal that tells your body, wake up, it's time to perform. What if your first sip in the morning didn't just wake your brain, but also rebalanced your hormones, stabilized your metabolism, and reignited your drive before you even opened your laptop? You don't need new workouts, you don't need another supplement stack, you don't even need to give up coffee. All it takes is adding 1 simple teaspoon of the right natural ingredient into your morning tea, a step so easy that most men ignore it completely, yet powerful enough to transform how your body operates from the inside out. And the best part? You already have the perfect timing window built into your morning. You see, there's a short 30-minute phase right after you wake up when your body's chemistry is incredibly receptive. Your cells are like dry soil, they absorb anything you give them. But most men feed that moment with caffeine and stress, not restoration and power. If instead you send your body the right signal during that window, something remarkable happens. Your stress response calms down, your metabolism wakes up, your energy lasts longer through the afternoon. You start the day not chasing energy, but owning it. In a second, I'll share the exact 1 teaspoon solutions that trigger this response. Each of them is backed by science, trusted by ancient traditions, and proven by thousands of men who've reignited their performance naturally. But before we reveal the ingredients, you need to understand why this simple timing, this morning chemistry reset, might just be the missing link your body has been craving all along. What's fascinating is how modern endocrinology and ancient medicine, two worlds separated by centuries, are finally starting to agree on one thing. Energy isn't lost with age, it's mismanaged. Your body was designed to create energy naturally. Every cell in your body knows how to repair, recover, and regenerate. But in our modern routine, constant notifications, processed food, late night stress, we've silenced the body's natural rhythm and replaced it with noise. In ancient times, men used herbs and roots not as supplements, but as signals. They understood that the body listens to what you feed it, not just in nutrients, but in intention. Morning rituals weren't about caffeine, they were about activation. And now, after decades of research, science is beginning to prove they were right. When you add specific adaptogenic compounds, natural plant based ingredients that help the body adapt to stress, you trigger a biological reset. These compounds directly interact with the HPA axis, the brain's control center for hormones like cortisol, testosterone, and dopamine. What does that mean for you? It means your morning mood, energy levels, and metabolism aren't random. They're programmable, and you can program them naturally. Think about it. Your ancestors didn't have pre workouts, energy drinks, or multivitamins, yet they thrived, hunted, built, created, powered by what nature offered. We've only forgotten the language our body understands. And the good news? You don't need to change your entire life to relearn it. You just need to reintroduce one simple signal, 1 teaspoon of the right natural ingredient, added to your existing morning habit. That single act can calm stress hormones, reignite your metabolism, and bring back the steady focus and confidence that most men start losing in their 40s and 50s. This isn't ancient magic or placebo, it's biochemical communication. And once your body starts receiving the right signals again, it knows exactly what to do. So here's where it all comes together, the part I call the teaspoon trinity. Because after years of studying natural compounds, I found that almost every man's morning energy, focus, and vitality can be reignited by one of three simple natural additions, all measured in just a single teaspoon. Three ancient ingredients, three unique effects, one simple ritual. These aren't exotic miracle powders or synthetic boosters. They're adaptogenic herbs and spices that have been quietly studied and proven for decades. Each one targets a specific part of the male system. One reactivates hormonal drive and motivation. One restores calm and mental clarity by controlling cortisol. And one stabilizes metabolism to keep your energy even and your waistline steady. Together, they form what I call the morning reset triangle, a complete foundation for male vitality. You don't have to use all three at once. You can start with one based on what your body needs most right now. If you feel mentally flat or unmotivated, your drive needs ignition. If you feel anxious or burnt out, your nervous system needs calming. If your energy spikes and crashes, your metabolism needs balance. And here's the best part. You don't need fancy equipment or to overhaul your routine. You already have the habit that makes it work, your morning mug. Whether it's tea, black coffee, or even warm lemon water, that cup is your canvas. The teaspoon is your tool. All we're doing is replacing randomness with intention. For most men, this one change creates an immediate sense of control. You're no longer reacting to the day, you're designing it. In a moment, I'll break down each of the three ingredients, explain exactly what they do, how to take them, and which one you should start with based on your goals. But first, I want you to remember one thing. Consistency beats intensity. This ritual isn't about quick spikes or instant miracles. It's about retraining your body to operate like it used to. 1 teaspoon at a time, one morning at a time, you'll feel that slow, steady return of clarity, stamina, and drive. So let's begin with the first and most powerful spark, the one that awakens your hormonal drive, sharpens your focus, and reignites the energy you thought you'd lost. Maca root. Ingredient number 1, maca. Let's start with the ingredient that reignites what I call your inner ignition system, your natural hormonal drive. It's called maca root, sometimes nicknamed the Peruvian ginseng. Grown high in the Andes Mountains, at altitudes where almost no other plant survives, maca evolved to handle extreme stress, cold, and oxygen deprivation. And that resilience is exactly what it teaches your body to do. Maca doesn't contain testosterone or any synthetic compounds. Instead, it signals your body to use what it already has more efficiently. It communicates with your HPA axis, the control hub in your brain that manages stress, hormone production, and mood. When stress hormones like cortisol stay too high, they suppress testosterone, leading to fatigue, brain fog, and lack of motivation. Maca helps normalize that balance, letting your natural testosterone and dopamine pathways work the way they used to. Within 1 to 2 weeks of consistent use, men often describe the difference like this. I feel awake before my alarm. My focus at work just feels cleaner. Even my workouts feel sharper. And yes, many also notice a renewed spark in their libido, not as an artificial rush, but as a calm, confident energy that feels natural. Think of it as turning the lights back on in a system that's been dim for too long. The best form to use is gelatinized maca powder. It's lightly cooked, making it easier to digest and absorb. Add 1 teaspoon to your morning tea or black coffee. It blends surprisingly well with a mild, nutty, almost butterscotch flavor that gives your drink a subtle richness. The secret with maca is consistency, not intensity. Take it daily for at least 2 weeks before judging results. Most men report not only better energy and mood, but also a deeper sense of clarity, as if the noise in their head has quieted and the spark that drives their day has come back online. And here's something fascinating. When your hormonal rhythm improves, your entire day follows. You think faster, react calmer, sleep deeper, and even make better decisions without effort. It's not a supplement, it's a signal, a reminder to your biology of how it's supposed to function. And once that inner fire reignites, it doesn't just affect your mornings, it affects your presence, your relationships, and your confidence. The number one thing men tell me after trying maca regularly: I feel like myself again. That's what makes it the foundation of the teaspoon trinity, the spark that reignites your system from the inside out. Ingredient number 2, ashwagandha. Now, if maca is the spark that ignites your engine, then ashwagandha is the stabilizer that keeps it running smoothly. The name itself is ancient Sanskrit, ashwa meaning horse, gandha meaning smell, symbolizing the strength, stamina, and endurance of a horse. For thousands of years, it's been used in Ayurvedic medicine as a rasayana, a rejuvenator that restores balance to both the mind and body. While maca focuses on boosting drive and energy, ashwagandha focuses on restoring resilience, your ability to handle pressure, recover faster, and stay calm even when life doesn't slow down. You see, one of the biggest silent killers of male energy isn't age, it's chronic stress. Every notification, deadline, and late night worry keeps your body's cortisol levels elevated. High cortisol doesn't just make you anxious, it blocks your testosterone, burns through energy reserves, and prevents deep recovery. That's where ashwagandha works its quiet magic. As a powerful adaptogen, it trains your body to adapt to stress rather than collapse under it. It lowers cortisol naturally, improves sleep quality, and brings your nervous system back into balance without making you feel sedated or dull. Within days, most men notice the difference in subtle ways. You don't overreact to small problems. You recover faster from workouts or long workdays. Your mind feels clearer, like the static has finally faded. Ashwagandha doesn't make you more aggressive or hyper, it makes you steady. It's like putting a high performance suspension system on your nerves: smooth, stable, powerful. The best way to take it: 1 teaspoon of high quality ashwagandha root powder in a strong flavored tea like ginger, chai, or turmeric. Add a touch of raw honey or pure maple syrup to soften its earthy, bitter tone. Within 2 to 3 weeks of daily use, men often report deeper sleep, less anxiety, and an unexplainable feeling of control, the kind that shows up in your posture, your tone, and your focus. And here's something most people miss. When you reduce stress hormones like cortisol, your body automatically creates the perfect internal environment for testosterone and dopamine to thrive. In other words, calm isn't the opposite of power. Calm creates power. That's why I call ashwagandha the anchor of this ritual. It keeps you centered when the world tries to pull you apart. It doesn't shout its benefits like caffeine, it whispers them. But that whisper changes everything. The 3, Ceylon Cinnamon. The third and final part of the teaspoon trinity is the most familiar, yet the most overlooked. It's the ingredient sitting quietly in almost every kitchen cabinet: Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon. Most people think of it as just a spice, something to sprinkle on oatmeal or add to a latte. But in reality, cinnamon is one of nature's most powerful metabolic regulators. Here's why it matters. As men age, especially past 40, the body becomes less sensitive to insulin, the hormone responsible for moving sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells for energy. When that sensitivity drops, your body starts storing sugar as fat instead of burning it. The result? That stubborn belly weight, unpredictable energy crashes, and constant cravings for something sweet or caffeinated. Ceylon cinnamon flips that pattern. It increases insulin sensitivity, which means your body can turn food into usable energy more efficiently. Instead of riding a roller coaster of highs and crashes, you experience a smooth, steady line of energy that lasts all day. And unlike synthetic fat burners or stimulants, cinnamon doesn't stress your system, it stabilizes it. Think of it as your body's energy regulator. It keeps your internal engine running clean and balanced. Just 1 teaspoon in your morning tea or coffee can support healthy blood sugar levels, improve metabolism and fat utilization, reduce mid morning and afternoon energy crashes, help manage cravings by balancing glucose spikes. Use Ceylon cinnamon, not the common cassia type. Cassia contains a compound called coumarin, which in large amounts can burden the liver. Ceylon, on the other hand, is pure, gentle, and ideal for daily use. The flavor? Warm, naturally sweet, comforting. It blends beautifully with black tea, green tea, or even lemon water. Within a few days, you'll notice you no longer reach for that midday caffeine hit. Your energy will feel even, not forced. Over time, this 1 teaspoon habit doesn't just manage your metabolism, it reshapes it. You start burning cleaner, thinking sharper, and performing better without feeling wired or drained. It's the kind of change you don't notice overnight, but one day you wake up and realize your energy just lasts. And that's the beauty of this ritual. Maca fuels the drive, ashwagandha anchors the calm, and cinnamon keeps your fire burning steady. Now let's pause for a second because this is where most people get it wrong. They hear about ingredients like maca, ashwagandha, or cinnamon and think it's just another health trick, another supplement trend. But this ritual isn't about ingredients, it's about intention. Every morning, you have a choice to start your day by reacting or by leading. The teaspoon ritual isn't powerful because of what's in the powder, it's powerful because of what it represents. It's a daily declaration that you're not waiting for motivation to strike. You're creating it. You're telling your body, your hormones, and your mind, I'm in control today. That one act of self discipline, measuring a teaspoon, stirring it into your tea, taking a deep breath before your first sip, sends a message far deeper than caffeine ever could. It tells your body, I care enough to start right. And that's what separates men who age fast from men who evolve stronger. It's not genetics, it's not luck, it's intention, repeated daily. Because when you start your morning with control, the rest of the day follows that pattern. You handle stress differently. You communicate more clearly. You even show up more grounded in your relationships. Not because of a supplement, but because you've anchored yourself before the world has a chance to shake you. That's what this ritual is about. Not magic, but mastery. A man who owns his mornings eventually owns his life. Here's something powerful most men never realize. Your body doesn't change because of what you do once. It changes because of what you repeat. Habits are the language your biology understands, and every morning your body is listening. When you begin your day with intention instead of reaction, you start to rewire the communication between your mind and hormones. That teaspoon you stir isn't just tea, it's a signal. It says, today I choose clarity. The science of behavioral psychology calls this identity-based habit formation. When a small, consistent action begins to reshape how you see yourself, you're not just adding a health hack to your routine. You're becoming a man who values discipline over distraction. And that identity shift is where real transformation happens. Because think about it, every major change in life starts with a small symbolic action. The writer who commits to 1 page a day, the athlete who never skips a warm-up, the man who starts each morning by grounding his body before facing the world. Each one tells their subconscious, this is who I am now. And when your actions and identity align, motivation stops being something you chase. It becomes something you live from. So this ritual, this 1 teaspoon act might seem small, but neurologically, it's huge. It activates the reward loop in your brain, connects self-discipline with positive emotion, and makes staying consistent feel natural. That's why the men who stay consistent with it don't just look better or feel better, they become better. Because when your morning starts from intention, the rest of your day can't help but rise to meet it. Here's what I tell every man I work with. Don't overthink it, just test it. Choose one of the 3 ingredients, maca, ashwagandha, or Ceylon cinnamon, based on what your body needs most right now. If your energy feels low and your motivation's flat, start with maca for drive. If you're constantly tense, wired, or struggling to sleep, start with ashwagandha for calm. If your energy spikes and crashes or your waistline's creeping up, go with cinnamon for balance. Then here's the challenge. Commit to it for 21 days straight. 1 teaspoon every morning in your tea, coffee, or warm water. No skipping, no, I'll start tomorrow. Treat it like a contract with yourself. Not about results yet, just about showing up. Because what's going to surprise you isn't just the physical change, it's the mental shift. Around week 1, you'll notice subtle signals. Better focus in the morning, steadier mood through the day. By week 2, energy begins to sustain. Sleep feels deeper. Recovery improves. By week 3, that quiet spark, the one you thought had faded, starts to come back. You won't need to remind yourself to do the ritual anymore. Your body will ask for it. That's when you know it's working. When it stops being a routine and starts being part of who you are. And once you've completed the 21 days, cycle to the next ingredient depending on your focus. Drive, calm, balance. In just 2 months, you'll have built a system, not just for better mornings, but for better living. Now imagine this. It's 3 weeks from today. You wake up before your alarm, not because you have to, but because your body's ready. You stretch, and there's no fog, just clarity. You make your tea, stir in that 1 teaspoon, and smile. Because it's not a chore anymore. It's your moment of power. You sit quietly, maybe sunlight hitting your face, and you feel something different. Steady energy, calm focus. That quiet confidence that used to feel out of reach. You notice it in small ways. You finish your work faster. You laugh more. You don't get thrown off by small problems. You handle things. And maybe, just maybe, your partner notices too. They look at you differently. They ask half jokingly, "What's gotten into you lately?" You don't answer with words. You just smile, sip your tea, and know the truth. That spark isn't new. It was always there. You just finally gave it room to breathe. That's the power of this ritual. It's not about the tea or the teaspoon or even the ingredients. It's about remembering that your energy, your drive, your calm, they were never lost. They were waiting for you to wake them up. One morning, 1 teaspoon, one decision at a time. If this message spoke to you today, if you're ready to take back your mornings, your focus, and that spark that makes you feel alive again, then don't let this just be another video you watch and forget. Start the ritual. Pick your teaspoon. Commit to your 21 days. And when you start to feel that quiet shift, when your mornings begin to flow differently, come back here and tell me about it. I want to know which ingredient you started with and what you noticed first. Share your journey in the comments because every story helps another man realize that it's not too late to wake up his energy again. If you found this valuable, give it a thumbs up, not for the algorithm, but so more men can find this message when they need it most. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because every week I share more simple science-backed habits like this one, habits that help you rebuild energy, focus, and confidence naturally. Remember, the best time to change your life isn't someday. It's the morning you decide to start differently. I'm Dr. Charlotte Hayes. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Now go make your morning count.